Okay, get this. What if I told you that you could delete a file from your computer? I mean, drag it to the trash, empty the trash, gone. But that exact same file could still exist, completely intact, hiding in a place you probably look at every single day. We're about to dive into a concept that is seriously wild. It sounds like something from a spy movie, doesn't it? But that's the core question we're tackling here. Can you actually store an entire file, byte for byte, not on a physical hard drive, but inside a Spotify playlist? Well, believe it or not, the answer is yes. It's a bit complicated, but yeah, you can. So what we're looking at is a project that basically turns a public Spotify account into a secret hidden storage device. This is a super modern take on a really old practice called steganography, which is just the art of hiding information right out in the open. But instead of using, invisible ink, we're using pop songs.
All right, so how on earth do you translate a computer file into a playlist of songs? Well, the magic here all starts with creating a secret code, a kind of unique dictionary that maps the digital world of bytes to the musical world of beats.
And just so we're all on the same page with that term, steganography isn't about encrypting a message to make it unreadable. Nope. It's about hiding the fact that a message even exists. The playlist itself becomes the hiding spot, and the specific order of the songs, that's the secret message.
Okay, this is where it gets really clever. It all starts with a secret password, one that only you know. That password gets put through a one-way process called hashing, which basically turns it into a unique digital fingerprint, or a seed. Think of it like a password blender. Once it's mixed up, you can't unmix it. This seed then creates a very specific but seemingly random search term for every single possible byte value, from 0 all the way to 255. Each search finds a song on Spotify and boom! You've just created your own secret decoder ring, a map where every byte of data now corresponds to one specific song.
And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. Because the process is what we call deterministic, if you use the same password, you will always generate the exact same song-to-byte dictionary. Every single time, without fail. This is what makes it possible to get your file back later. It's a perfectly reproducible secret map.
So, we've got our secret dictionary. Now, let's get to the fun part. How do we actually build the hard drive and encode a real file into a playlist? From here, the logic is actually pretty simple. The program just reads your file one byte at a time. For every single byte, it looks up which song it corresponds to in that secret dictionary we just made. Then, using Spotify's official tools, their API, it adds that song to a brand new playlist. It just does this over and over and over again until the entire file has been turned into one long sequence of songs. But there's always a but, isn't there? A major hurdle. And it's this number, 10,000. That is the absolute maximum number of songs you can have in a single Spotify playlist. So what do you do if your file is bigger than 10,000 bytes? I mean, that's only about 10 kilobytes, which is tiny.
This limit really seems like a deal breaker, right? If every song is one byte of data, you're not going to store much. But naturally, the person who created this whole thing came up with a really slick workaround.
And here's the fix. You create a chain of playlists. It's brilliant. Once the first playlist is full with 10,000 songs, the program just makes a second playlist. It then grabs the unique ID of that new playlist and just pastes it right into the description of the first one. It's kind of like creating chapters in a secret digital book, where the end of each chapter tells you exactly where to find the next one. This means you could, in theory, store a file of any size.
Okay, so we've hidden the file, we've cleverly worked around Spotify's limits. Now for the final, most important step. How do we reverse all this and get our original data back, perfectly intact?
Well, to get the file back, you just run the whole process in reverse. It's pretty methodical. First, you type in that same secret password, which perfectly rebuilds your original decoder ring. Then the program goes to the first playlist in your chain. It reads the songs one by one, translating each song back into its original byte. When it reaches the end of the playlist, it just looks in the description for the link to the next chapter and hops over to that one. It just follows this chain all the way to the end, reassembling all the bytes into a perfect copy of the file you started with.
I mean, this is undeniably clever. It is an amazing proof of concept. But before you get any ideas about backing up your entire photo library to a playlist called Chill Vibes, we need to have a serious reality check. Because at the end of the day, this is a hack. And hacks come with some pretty big risks. And this really lays out the brilliant idea versus the, let's say, brutal reality. This is where the dream falls apart a bit. First off, this almost certainly violates Spotify's terms of service. They probably don't want you turning their music platform into a personal file server. But even beyond that, it is incredibly fragile. Just think about it. If Spotify removes one single song from its library that happens to be in your playlist, poof, your entire file is corrupted, probably forever. And while the data is hidden, it's not secure. The playlists are public, anyone can see them, and that chain of playlist IDs in the descriptions, that's a huge giveaway that something weird is going on. It's like leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs for anyone curious enough to look.
And look, you don't have to take my word for it. The creator of this project is very clear about this. They explicitly say this is a conceptual project and definitely not a robust storage solution. The risk of Spotify changing a policy or just songs disappearing from their catalog makes this a terrible idea for anything you actually want to keep. So in the end, the creator's own verdict really says it all. It's an ingenious demonstration, but not a recommended storage solution. It's a brilliant puzzle, a really cool example of creative coding, but it is not a hard drive.
But exploring this whole idea leaves us with a really fascinating question that goes way beyond just Spotify. I mean, if you can hide a file in a music playlist, it proves that these secret channels can exist almost anywhere. So what else could be hiding in plain sight? Could you hide data in the arrangement of pixels in an Instagram photo, or in the exact timing of likes on a bunch of posts, or even in the order of items in a public Amazon wish list? It really makes you wonder, what other digital secrets are just floating around out there completely unnoticed?